Welcome to Emuna is Our Future with Trauma to Love and Light. That's the focus today. Parshas Baloscha. We are in a special time. Every week has its special light, especially when we go according to the Torah. The Torah is revealing the light from within, and it's a matter of us tuning in. That's which is much to do with everything going on right now in the world. There's so much trauma, there's so much noise, there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, and our journey together in the Muna class is to tune in to the light, into the love, and to grow together that we can go ahead in our week. Please God, go ahead towards Shabbos every week, the day of rest, the day to disconnect, to reconnect, to be able to come together weekly with our Muna class. Thank God, Bezat Hashem, it should continue here in our wonderful studio in Jerusalem, in the holy city. We have the pleasure to come together weekly, and I don't take it for granted, and I hope you guys don't also. It's a very big merit to be able to sit together in this holy city and to discuss words of Torah and to understand that on a deep, deep level, we're all united souls, we're all joined together. So what's discussed is meant to be heard and meant to be understood and developed, and most importantly is meant to applied so that we can have an effective, more inspired life, a life of soul, a life of inspiration, a life of spirituality, a life of unity, a life of love, a life of light. So we're going to go into today's class. I do ask all of you to check out the links below, the details below. We have a request from Rav Shalom Orish himself, our wonderful host, to please send in your names. We had a beautiful class last night explaining this. I recommend watching the whole class, hearing from Melech Cohen, our wonderful guest. It was very inspiring. The music was very deep and soulful. And Rav Orish's words of ahavas chinam, of loving others with devotion, with Mesiras Nefesh, with all our devotion, with all our energy, with all our strength to really pray and to change and bring this world to a more elevated level. Someone reached out already. Dave, thank you. Good morning to you. Here in Israel, it's good afternoon. Thank God it's a pleasure. You guys leave your feedback and give me that feeling that thank God there are people tuning in. Remember, we do have an edited version, thank God, that's hopefully going to be going up before the end of the week. And we do have our podcast, Amuna's Our Future, going out, as well as our Unity Flow podcast and the Relationship Flow podcast, which are all now blogs. So you guys can tune in to very important updates and pictures, and visually you can tune in to the podcast aspect now visually through the videos and for everything we're doing. It's amazing how everything's becoming one in technology and joining us all together in a more advanced level. Thank God everything seems to be working well in the studio. We do once again have this special guest who's putting some good technology energy out there in the studio room. And thank God the classes we've noticed are growing. If you check out Nissan Black's class with Rav Orish on peace, which is something which is very much needed right now, it's a very important class, and it's, thank God, got already in the 20, 30,000s of views, and that's the kind of energy we need for YouTube to really go big. But it's up to you guys to share and to bring other people to this platform, because we need to transform the world to light. There's a lot of darkness right now, and the whole purpose of creation is turning darkness to light, and through these online platforms we can reach much further. But it's only if people themselves proactively take what we're doing, take our content and interact. For example, send us your names through our voice, start praying for the 30 minutes a day to love all kinds of people and to bring the world to more a unified experience. Take these content that we're learning together and share it, get it out there, bring other people to it. It's not going to happen by myself. It's not going to happen just by Rav Orish. As he said, the Espanol, in Spanish, there's over 1 million followers. So it is possible to expand the Emuna content outwards to much larger numbers, but it takes us together as a unit to do it. And I request that on a weekly level that you please do this, because it's not really going to, like, God forbid, offend anyone. Anything we talk about, our goals are always to unity, to unify, to bring together to people of different kinds of, as it says, unity and diversity. And even right now, that my wife herself, my soulmate, today, like we're talking about an hour or two two ago, was on a tram. Just as the door closed, a woman came running in, screaming and crying. Ah! And outside, there was a person running with a knife, and unfortunately committed a bunch of stabbings in the holy city of Jerusalem, and thank God they were neutralized. But I don't know what the situation of the people that were stabbed. The point is, we're living in a time where, we just don't know. The whole world, it's not just in Jerusalem, it's not just in Israel. The whole world is aflame with negativity and divisiveness. So we have to be even more so a fire for light that generates that bahalasacha, that light, it's a to light up the candles of our souls, Ner Hashem Nishmas Odom, to light up the world to a more unified place. And it's up to all of us to do it together. It can't be done by myself. I'm not able to, I'm not like a big network or anything. I'm with Rav Orish, Baruch Hashem, and I'm with all our friends, our 37 Emuna classes already, where many guests have come. And who's coming the new Sunday to be announced? I was hoping Listen Black, but we're still yet to confirm. And there is potential. I could bring in someone who is, interestingly, like a bit more political, and I always try and stay away from that. But the reason why I'd bring someone like that in is just to give some clarity, because one of the things we're missing right now is a lot of facts, that people aren't hearing the facts enough. And even from checking out some of my friends' podcasts, like I mentioned recently, a friend's podcast in London, they're missing facts. And it's unfortunate, because when you don't have the facts, then the truth, really, which is where the facts is based, this idea people talk about facts, it has to be and truth. It has to come from truth. And that's where we're holding right now in this, thank God, in this Emuna class, that we are Noch Shavuos, we are after Shavuos, we're bringing the light of Shavuot with us, the Kabbalah Satorah, we're taking it with Mekabel, we've internalized it, and we're taking it with us into the new year. And that's the power of our souls, that's the power of everything we're learning, please God, to really bring out a renewed energy and renewed light. I just want to mention that, thank God, I'm blessed to be 41 years old, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe, in his beautiful, beautiful Torahs, talks about how every year, when you're born, you have a Tehillim, you have a psalm. And this is the book of Tehillim that try to say daily, try to finish every month. Everyone has their different ways of connecting to David HaMelech's beautiful psalms. And we did have the Yotzai of David HaMelech and the Yotzai of Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh on Shavuos, and we had the light of Rus. We bring that light with us now. That's where the light's coming from, to realize it comes from the Holy Torah. It comes from, there is a place of truth, there's a place of objectivity, and it's not something which, God forbid, is pushing anybody away. If anyone, as the Rav said so beautifully last night, we have to really think about that before we get to the Psalms. We just have to internalize what Rav Orish said about the idea of really loving someone with mysterious nefesh, with devotion, with all our energy, with all our being, because that's really the essence of the Torah. That's the essence of truth. The essence of truth and oneness is one thing. It's the bringing together the Avos Yisrael, the Avos Hashem, the Avos Torah. That's the truth. That's really all one thing. The loving God, loving His holy teachings, and loving other people is really people loving the world, the human soul. This is one reality. This is absolute truth. There's nothing that can take away from that. And that's the reality that we, all of us, have to tune into on a daily and spiritual level. And it's not just something which is theoretical, and it's not something you just hear about and forget about. This has to be a person's daily life. You wake up with the mitzvah saseh after Rechachamocha, the mitzvah from the Torah, the positive mitzvah to love every single person, to love them with your whole heart, and to really dedicate your day to loving people. And as Rav Orish has given us guidance, to use time to pray for that. And should be part of our prayer service. Personally, I have it in my siddur, in my nusach that I say every day. It says over there in the siddur, it says the mitzvahs I say after Recha Chamocha, like mekabel alai, I take upon myself to love everyone, and even if people are making some difficult energy or whatever going on out there, I'm going to still love, because that's the truth of humanity, that we have soul. Now, obviously, you don't be kind to a cruel person. That takes wisdom. And that's why we're going to go to David HaMelech. David HaMelech gave us so much guidance in this whole thing because he was someone who was more pursued than anybody. If you read in Psalms, the amount of people that were pursuing him and troubles that were pursuing him, and yet he was able to constantly rejoice. Lam Natsech Maskil Livnei Korach. This is the 42nd Psalm. You go there, and I was reading with Biederman, this Shabbos, Parshas Naso, as we now already taking the light from the previous Shabbos into the new Shabbos. There's over there the beautiful Tehillim of Psalm 42. It says that this is, I'm 41, so I'm reading Psalm 42 for this whole year. And Biederman explained it this week, just now, and it gave me a lot of inspiration because I've been saying it every day, that he explains how Tom Tom El Koil Kol Sinorecha, beautiful pasuk, that when we understand that we're going through this tahom, this endless pit of of chaos, of difficulties, it just feels so overwhelming. It feels like it's never ever going to end, and that's something which that in itself, that feeling, God forbid, that the suffering or the pain or the struggle that we're going through is endless. That, God forbid, that feeling, this coronavirus, it just seems to be affecting us still. I wanted to just fly to England now because they've changed the rules there, and it's still so much restrictions, so much fear being spread, a new variant of this thing or that thing. How do we take that to home, that seemingly endless struggle with this coronavirus, or this seemingly endless struggle with the lack of peace in the Middle East? How do we take that experience that we're going through, that real things are happening in our daily life that are affecting us, and that it just feels like, is this ever going to end? So says the Heilige, the Holy David HaMelech in his Psalms, the Kol Sinorecha, to take that voice and bring it into your sino, to channel it, to channel that pain, to channel that overwhelming, bring it into confines, take that endless pain and bring it into boundaries, realize that there's a purpose for it, realize that there's a function for it, and that it's for us an opportunity to grow. Says Holy Psalms, Kol mishbarech v'galech alay avu, and we will go through it. That's the most important thing. That everything we're going through, it's gonna pass. Yimam Saveh Hashem Chasto, as we sang last night beautifully with Melech Cohen. Everything's connected. Yimam Saveh Hashem Chasto. That Hashem commands every night. In the day Hashem commands kindness, and the night He commands us to sing. And we sing with Hashem. He doesn't say the word command in the night. The day it commands us to the kindness, and the night that we sing with him, to Tefillah lekal chai, and we pray. And remember that's the whole thing with Rav Orish, that we should pray lekal chai. It should be vichias, with energy to the God of life. And then it goes on, and there's beautiful endings to this. Mashtach minafshi matami alai, achilo lekim ki od aleinu Yeshua's panai v'lahai. And that's the idea that there'll be Yeshua's in the face, and it says twice that Yeshua's panav, Yeshua's panai. So the point from Rabbi Biederman on this beautiful Tehillim, that there will be salvations in our face, in His face. We will be meritorious to experience salvations. We're not going to stay in this pain. We're not going to stay in this tahom, this endless pit of pain, of this deep tome, all the way to the deep depths of exile, of struggle, that pain that people go through nowadays on a real live way. We have the power within to turn that around, to channel it towards growth. Think about all the people that you know in your life who've gone through pain, and now they use it to help other people, the whole recovery world. Or for example, my own wife, she's someone who, like just today, she's already learning to do MADA, to help people. She's going to start learning, actually, not yet, but she is about to. She's got a license for driving. She's going to be able to go into the space of helping people who are in physical danger and physical pain. And that's a power that she has from within, from her own personal struggles. And that's the idea, that people on a daily level can do that. Think about how you can bring more unity to the world by how you can give and help. All the more so online, you have it so easy now. You just have it in your phone, as the Rav was saying. Why are we creating so much hatred on our phones and getting so jealous and so caught up with fighting with people? We can do the opposite. We can create content that brings us together, that brings unity. There's an opportunity. I'm looking right now for unity content. I'm looking for people who are in the middle, who are able to see the facts, the truth of this right now, this Middle East crisis, this lack of peace that's been going on, even though there's a ceasefire, but the struggle continues. What are we going to do about it as people, as individuals? We can't really turn to the larger, seem to be the powers out there, the government and the big high-tech people. We can't really impact those kind of people right now, but we can on an individual level affect our sphere of influence, as Stephen Covey so wisely brought down, that everyone has their sphere of influence. And on the spiritual level, by us doing what we're supposed to do, that really affects everything in creation. That affects no matter who they are, how big they seem to be and powerful they seem. But by us tuning into the Sino, this will, this Ratzon of Hashem, we turn around this pain, this Tahom, this endless pain of exile, and we turn it into Yeshua's, into salvations. And that's through tefillahs, that's through connecting. And that's, I got a lot of comfort from that, knowing that when we're in a Parsha Baloscha that I'm about to enter, and I felt very much that feeling after this Shabbos that we're about to go out of Shabbos into a whole new realm of challenge and opportunities. Not just that. It's not just difficulties, but opportunities. The difficult things are really opportunities. The painful moments are abilities to heal and to grow and to get more connected to who we truly are, to our true potential, our true mission in this world. And it's something which is very encouraging when you start to think about it. When you're saying the Psalms and you're learning these concepts together, you have the power to connect into something which was an eternal battle. The David Melech wrote it down in Psalms and gave us the tools to pray, how to connect to that higher force. He himself went through all these struggles, and we have to realize that we're empowered. Parshas Baloscha, there's so much going on. If you look at the Parsha, so many struggles. There's the big nuns, which represent those big nisyonis, the big challenges that the people had in the Midbar, in the desert, and that we have on a daily level in our own lives, in the desert of our lives. We have challenges and the opportunity to turn those challenges around, to take the nisyonis and to be misgaber on the nisyonis. And this is a daily opportunity, a weekly opportunity, a monthly opportunity. We're already now coming to the climax of this whole time period of Chodesh Sivan. Baruch Hashem, Chodesh Sivan is a very spiritual time to take the Torah with us into the rest of the year, to take this 3 months, this 3 special months, the Shevet of Yehuda, the Yehuda and Yisachar and Zvulun, to bring those 3 Shvatim, those 3 tribes, that power, that energy of Torah, and the person who works and the person who teaches Torah, to bring it all together, to take that energy, the kingship of Yehuda, to take that energy and bring it now into the next 3 months, which are about to approach, the 3 months of Tammuz and Av and Elul, this transition time of going from spring into summer, where things were rebirthing, and now it's getting very intense. Things are heating up. So we have the power to really turn that struggle of the fire out there into a calming and energy of peace and insight. So all of us have that ability. Right now, as I'm speaking, I'm thinking, my wife, she went through trauma today because she literally pulled away, her tram pulled away from the scene when the guy was running with the knife, and that moment the woman just jumped in just before the door closed. Anybody could have got attacked, God forbid. And to be in such a situation, I'm thinking wow, she herself, I was on the phone with her a bunch of times since she told me this happened, and I was obviously making sure she's calm, but the trauma that it would literally have, in a matter of moments, it was a matter of minutes. And you see how everything in life is very much a flow, and life is a gift, and a life is so deep and so profound, and it's not something to take lightly. That's why I ask of you to please join me. I'm going to be discussing this more on a practical level in my United Souls course. I have the link below, and I put it on all my classes during this time where we have this course, United Souls. It's an opportunity for you guys to join me and interact in an active way. And we'll be going live tomorrow, please God, Eastern time 8:30, Israel time 3:30, UK time 1:30. And it's an opportunity to really connect on an interactive level, so you guys can learn a course together with me. So it doesn't have to be just me giving over, but I can actually discuss with you the concepts. And also, thank God the course is very defined, so it's very much step by step. It's not just concepts like we're doing here. Anyway, I want to just finish off today's class. I just feel like there is so much light after being in Shavuos and now going into this new time period of Baloscha, and going ahead with the Parshas of Shlach and Koirach and Chukas and Balak and all these special Parshas of Bamidbar, the special time of year where, like I said, we're transitioning. We're going from May to June and from June to July. It's already now hitting those summer months, which is a whole different type of way of serving Hashem. We're learning Pirkei. Hopefully, if you are, every week I try to go to a class on it. Try get yourself attached to the Rotzen of the fathers, the Messiah, the tradition that takes us back to the true revelation that took place, and tune into that whole Messiah so we can bring it alive now in our days, in our times. And that's the hope, that we'll be doing this on a weekly level together during this next many weeks of the summer. I will hopefully have a little time of vacation. Maybe I'll do my class from where I'm sitting and a little week off, but I'll be able to do the live feed from there. We won't be able to do the edited version, but we can still do all the other things, the YouTube, the Facebook, and the podcast. And please God, I pray that all of us should just hear peace, and we should have protection. We should be able to see the good. Hashem should protect us from any more pain and suffering, and should give us the strength to turn it, to channel it with Sinor, to channel all the pain of exile and all the pain of our personal life, to channel it into opportunities, into growth, into healing, into good things, and to realize that that's the whole purpose, like we said, so we started the class, to turn the darkness of this exile into light, to transform this time of seemingly like physical light because it's the summer, but really on an internal level there's a lot of pain and darkness going on that we can transform into light through just being inspired, through lifting up our way of viewing this world, to being more elevated, to be more unified, to have more Emuna. And that's the hope that it will bring us to love. Please God, we'll have true love for other people, like the Rav's encouraging us to really pray for each other. Please send me your names again, reminding you, join us in our next week Emuna class. I'm not sure exactly, who's going to be the guest yet, still deciding, but the main thing is that the Rav will be here. We'll have the opportunity, please God, to really grow together with Emuna and love and light, and that trauma that keeps going on again, seemingly in the last few months. It just seems to be one thing after the other. Please God, once we've transformed it fully into light and to the truth that underneath everything is one, everything's united, everything has a spiritual essence, and that will give us ability to go out this exile, this painful time that we've hopefully seeing the end of, and to come to the time of pure joy, of true connection, of true united souls, of oneness, of the binyan bias, shlishi, the third base of English, and all of us dancing together with all our friends and family and loved ones. Amen, Amen. Please God, we'll be starting on time next week, and we thank you again for joining us at Emuna as our future class. Thank you. Keep sharing on.